Moose here. I'm back. So, Moose Studios is now complete. Pretty much. There's just some little finishing touches that need to happen around here, but at this point, we've got excellent lighting now. The sound should be better. I've got, it's not bare wood walls. I've got, as you can see here, we'll take a little tour afterwards. But yeah, so the channel is back. Today we're going to start off by scrapping a Panasonic phone switch. These things are usually good for gold recovery. Not a whole lot else, but hey, something that I got, I'm going to scrap and take a look at it on camera. So, without further ado, let's dig in. Alright, so I already took out the screws holding in the cover. Got some recyclable plastic here. And if you look inside, I've got, looks like several slot cards that I'm hoping are gold plated or have gold trimmed fingers in the end. A lot of these things also have a lot of, especially the older ones, you don't see big bulky ones like this with the newer stuff. There's going to be a lot of IC chips, hopefully some ceramics, and yeah, so let's dig in. So there we go, we got some scrap steel there, and that frees up the cards. And unfortunately, these are not the type of slot cards with gold trimmed fingers on the bottom. They have gold plated pins, which are not quite as good, but you know, still something. And again on here, we've got a lot of IC chips all over. We'll take a close-up of that at the end. Some gold-plated pins and little phone jacks there, and a few other goodies, but you know, we'll just put that aside for now. 2, 3. Oh, this one's got a ton of ICs on it. That's nice. Should be some good gold recovery in that. Oh, and this one has, looks like, 1, 2 ceramics. So, since I don't like to wait and be a little impatient, I like to scratch off the stickers. And that one's actually epoxy. That one is ceramic, but if you open the window, or if you take the sticker off the window and you look inside, you can see if there's gold in there or not. This one has no gold, so you know, really not worth a whole heck of a lot. But you know, if you know someone who processes them, they'll take them anyway. The bottom of this does have a low-grade board, but quite honestly, the amount of effort it looks like it's going to take to get in there, I'm not going to bother with it. There is a transformer up here in the corner. I'm going to pull that out, and the back of this, it's got a fairly significant steel plate. So I'm going to leave that on there and just throw this whole thing into the shred pile. Alright, so we've got this thing, which is not magnetic. That's another thing I like about this bowl. It's magnetic. Check real quick, see if it's aluminum. Alrighty, so inside this thing, looks like it's really screwed in there. Alrighty. Make sure that I get all this wire. So that steel, in that box. This switch may or may not have a silver contact in it, but I stopped digging for those a little while ago. It takes a lot of time, and I mean, personally for me, it's not worth the time. If it's something that you want to go for, by all means. Alright. Snip there. Alright, so this is a low-grade board, but as you can see, there are a lot of bits that have copper on them, even some tiny ones in there. So a lot of people like to remove these, especially these items here. They're fairly easy to get the copper off of. So with these, you can usually just pry them right off. with like a pair of channel locks, something like these. Been using these for 10 years now. We've got some aluminum heat sinks on there. Now, you know, again, check with your scrapyard, find out how much they pay for low-grade boards, and then figure out and find out how much they pay for, like, you know, copper bearing motors. Yes, I know it's not really a copper bearing motor, but that's what most yards will classify them as. Find out what they pay for aluminum, etc. And then, you know, you can figure out for yourself if it's worth it to pull all this stuff off. And you can still get, you know, low-grade board value, because they're basically just recovering the copper off the etching at that point. We've got a couple of IC chips, another one buried in there. And that is, for the most part, it. I mean, you know, there's going to be some other tiny things in there, but nothing in real quantity to make it worth it. So we've got this board, which is kind of heavy, but again, for low-grade price, probably not worth a whole lot. Next, we've got this board. Now, this is a much higher grade board. Personally, I'm going to strip all the ICs off and then just throw it in with the low-grade boards. I might leave a few ICs just to, you know, make it worth it for, you know, the scrapyard. But again, we've got in here, it's like a little phone jack, so there's going to be some gold-plated wires in there. We've got a little oscillator over here. It's going to have silver in it. What else do I see? I don't see another crystal oscillator in there. These little capacitors, tiny bit of aluminum, really not a whole lot in there. Sometimes these little beds that hold the IC chips, just like this one. Of course, this one's stubborn. There we go. So these little, where the legs of the IC fit in, sometimes those are silver plated. But there again, I mean, silver plate, the cost to recover the silver, it's, in my opinion, not worth it unless you have a whole bunch of it. Or if silver were worth more than what it is now. Alright, so this next board, tons of IC chips on it. So this is going to be like a really high grade board. You know, again, check with, you know, whoever you sell your stuff to, find out, you know, what they pay. These, again, I forgot to mention them, this last one here, the ends over here, where it snaps into the main board, those are all gold-plated pins in there. This next one. Alright, so we got the same deal with gold-plated pins, just a different type. We've got a lot of these itty-bitty things which are going to have some copper in it, but not a whole lot. So this one, it'd be easy to 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, take off all the IC chips and then just throw it in with the low grade. That board looks identical. And then the first board that we took out, so again, this one, we've got some IC chips all over the place. We've got these little phone jacky things. They're going to have the gold-plated pins in there. Same with these jacks over here. And that's it. I mean, some of these other items might have other precious metals in them, but again, they're in very small quantity. So I'll leave that up to you to decide and to research, you know, what is going to be in what and if it's worth it for you. These little ceramic capacitors, these little disc capacitors, some of them have silver in them. Which ones, I'm not really sure. Silver is a metal that I don't really chase too much because it's just not, it's not valuable enough. But that is just me. We've got that low grade board, which just really only has that one aluminum heatsink, which I'll rip off. A little bit of wire, not even a ½ pound. Got this aluminum shield and that transformer. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and make sure you keep that subscription going. It's free, and I'm going to start putting out more videos. I've got some stuff lined up. I've got a casting project for a friend of mine. It's basically an ornament to go on a tombstone. So that'll be interesting. He wants me to replicate something that his deceased wife had given him a while back. It was some circle of life thing. So that should be interesting to see if I can replicate that in aluminum so we can stick it on the headstone. And well, I guess that's it. So now it's time for a little tour. All right, so keep in mind this is still, you know, a little bit of a work in progress. I don't have things all organized for the Moose Studios part, but the Dirty Moose Bar and Grill, which is what this also is pretty much fully set up. So, it's a nice little neon signs there in the corner. It's a poster board of my daughter's favorite supernatural character. Ended up in here somehow. I don't know. Got my tools over there in the corner. Got some totes back there of stuff to scrap. Got my trusty workbench. A flat top grill for late night snacks with an exhaust fan. I've got the, still have the Dirty Moose, or the Moose Crossing sign from D. Lundbeck out in Alaska. Thank you, sir. Hope you're still watching. Hope you're doing well. And we've got, well, we've got the snack bar, popcorn maker, all that stuff. We've got the bar, which I'm not going to focus too much on that. Kegerator, but I have the kegerator. I had a refrigerator that I bought from Home Depot in January. Never going to buy an appliance from Home Depot again, but that's a totally different story. So yeah, we got that. The refrigerator is supposed to go right here, but it's currently being repaired by a group of technicians who have never apparently worked with a refrigerator that cools with butane instead of Freon or some other refrigerant. All right, we got my Guinness sign, another thing from Mr. Lundbeck. We got the max occupancy, 333 people currently, or 20 moose. I got my Budweiser clock from my friend Ernie. 75-inch TV, 4K. Yep, with Bose sound. Got the dartboard, little game center, all the video game systems that people give me to recycle. I've been saving them up to try and make like working systems. So far I just have the classic Nintendo that works, but I was able to, my friend Jeff found one of these cartridges that has like 500 games on it, and that's been pretty fun to mess with. And brand new door. Oh, I forgot to mention, brand new door. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And with this, I also wanted to send out a shout out and a thank you to my friends Lee and Ben, friends of mine, neighbors, who without their construction expertise and borderline slave labor, this wouldn't have been completed at all. This is above and beyond what I was expecting. I was originally shooting for, you know, just drywall and paint, but I've got so much more now. So I want to thank you guys again, and thank you all for sticking in there, not unsubscribing, because it's been a while. But yeah, so make sure you keep on watching. We've got some more casting stuff going on, more scrapping videos, and some gold panning, which is going to be interesting. So again, see you all on the next one.